What's up everybody, it's Nate with Closet by Clark. Welcome back to the channel. You saw the title, so you know I got some goodies in this bag. I spent $500 on this and I think there's 12 or less pieces in here. So, you know, that's a pretty high cost per piece. It has to be worth something good. We're gonna get through this and then we're gonna go ship orders. I was out of town this weekend. I'm less than a week out from the Miami trip. Let's get right into it. The first thing we have is this Carhartt trucker jacket from the 90s. I'll throw a recent sold comp on screen. This one's probably about $200. So, you know, given this is the first piece, this is a pretty promising bag. Next up, we got an Eagles tour t-shirt from 1995. I'm gonna try to throw comps up on screen if I can find them. This is a men's medium. I've seen this go for about 110 before, so definitely a cool piece. But the best of it is in my size. Ones in my size I'm definitely gonna wear for a little bit first because they're gonna sit for a while. This is a Billy Joel River of Dreams tour t-shirt from 1993 and 1994. And these are all perfect condition. The jacket has a little distressing, but everything else in here is super nice. The Carhartt stuff, the distressing doesn't really hurt the value in my experience. This is a vintage Journey t-shirt, has the quarter sleeves on it. I don't know what year this one is, but it has the Frontier cover art. This is also a size medium, so also good sizes. And you're probably thinking, yeah, some of these are cool, but no more than 60 bucks, the $100 shirt. What did he really get into? Well, this is another good one. Hang gliding Adidas 90s sweatshirt. Really cool colors on that one. I'm saving the most exciting pieces for last, of course. This is just a basic McDonald's have you had your break yet? Vintage little skateboarding tee. This will do good. This was a bunch of stuff one of my suppliers in my Discord group tried to sell at ThriftCon. Obviously, I tried to get top dollar for it. And when they didn't, they bundled it up and sold it off to me for $500, which is still a lot, but plenty of money to be made. If you know what this is a 1994 David Bowie 9 Inch Nails tour t-shirt. Super cool piece here. I've seen this one go for $425 before, and there wasn't any sold in the last 90 days on eBay, but I will throw up the cheapest active listing. There's also a bunch of screen prints on there, but this is on that Hanes beefy tag. It is single stitch. This is a genuine 1994 t-shirt. We also got an 80s Star Wars t-shirt. There's a super high demand for this stuff. Permanent press tag, a size small, which is great because you don't really see those in these older shirts that much. So this will definitely bring in some good money. The best for last, my personal favorite in this collection, on the Brockham tag, a size large, so perfect for me. A 1994 or maybe 1993 Guns N' Roses all over print. This one's crazy. I've seen this one sell in person at markets for like $700 before, but I mean, there's no distressing on it, nothing wrong with it, perfect condition. And I've seen it sell online for $500. I'll throw a comp up. So this alone pays for the bag, everything else, which is probably another $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 worth of shirts in these 10 items. So probably make $1,500 on this bag when it sells. But obviously I'm into the clothing just as much as it is a business, it is a hobby. So I'm definitely going to be wearing this one for a while before it eventually sells. The fit is great. It fits incredible. Super happy with that. So definitely going to throw that on a rack and I'll have it hanging up in my room probably until it sells. Get the most wear out of it I can because this is awesome. This is an awesome t-shirt. Definitely my favorite one I've ever picked up. Even if I decide to hold onto it for a long time, I couldn't be happier with this. Very cool pickup. This is definitely my number 2 in the lot. This David Bowie 9 Inch Nails. This one's just crazy. Super cool pickup. And the Carhartt trucker jacket. I mean, you can never go wrong with the Carhartt stuff, especially that old denim. This is blanket lined on the inside. Now we have some orders to ship out. Already got everything pulled from the house. So we're gonna hop in the car and head to the storage unit. And every time I get questions in my comment section, I always jot them down and then I'll go over and talk about a few of them. I got a question asking what I normally wear, which isn't reselling related, but it is on topic for this video. I keep it pretty comfy normally. I don't really wear anything too crazy. I do see a lot of cool stuff, so I'm normally rocking like the sweatpants and a t-shirt. I do have some nicer pearl snaps and stuff. I do like the Western dress style. I'll do that a lot. And obviously I have like a little more out there t-shirts for if we got a little function going on with my friends, like this last weekend or whatever, when I'm hanging out, I'll throw something a little nicer on. Or most of my jeans are old, like I have a few orange tab Levi's. My favorite pair is probably like these baggy Tommy Hilfiger jeans with the black stripe down them. Those are pretty nice. I picked those up from a vintage shop I really like. But yeah, I see a lot of cool stuff. So my closet is completely secondhand. The only thing I have that I actually bought new are the pants and the company shirt for my security job, but I'm not really doing that anymore. So besides that, everything is like completely secondhand. And when I get something really cool, I'll wear it for a little bit, and then if I'll either list it and just wear it until it sells, or I'll wear it for a little bit and then list it, bag it, and, you know, goes into storage. But I mean, this is like a little Dodge Ram rodeo hoodie, just cool. I like to wear the colors that work well together, like the orange, green, black. I keep it pretty basic, nothing too crazy, but on occasion I'll dress up a little nicer, you know, churches, nicer clothes, stuff like that. I did get one comment talking about me looking for the warehouse space. It was something along the lines of like looking for a warehouse space at $10,000 a month is delusions of grandeur. And I mean, I guess if all I was doing was the eBay and I was looking at like that much warehouse space for where I'm at now, and I didn't have any other plan besides that, it could be considered delusions of grandeur. But at the same time, the best way to kill a big idea is to share it with a small mind, and there's way more opportunities that open up as soon as I get in a warehouse. And I also have other streams of income from this, like the wholesale group that's doing really well, which I'm seeing a return on. And the warehouse opens up the potential to start doing my own wholesale. I have the broker connects to start getting the pallets or truckloads of inventory. The wholesale Discord is going to be linked in this group. I have a box of Levi's I'll show you later. Some random guy in the group I've never worked with before was selling a bunch of jeans for $4.50 shipped. I'm headed to Miami in a couple days. On the 7th, I leave for that. So it'll be cool to see how much I can pull for the week. How much I can pull in the week to try to get, you know, I'll definitely be ahead for the month, but I'm going to be battling stuff up, sending it home. So that'll be really cool to see how well that goes. And that might become a recurring thing potentially, which a lot of people ask about the rag houses and stuff. And it is a very competitive scene, very competitive, very gatekeepy. You really got to know someone. But that being said, I started this 10 months ago and I didn't know anybody in the network when I started selling. So, I mean, I've reached out to literally hundreds at this point of textile recycling centers and different potential wholesale suppliers and I'm working with less than 10. So it is a matter of time and it takes a while to get up there, but just consistency. And if it's something you prioritize, you'll definitely make the connections. And that's just like that's definitely more of a long-term thing, but as things continue to scale, it's getting a lot more realistic to get to the point where I'm buying my own wholesale by the truckload like David Palaio's doing. I know a lot of people watch both of us, which is super cool. He was the one that told me to start posting the videos, and it's gone great. 1,700 subscribers, and I'm at 3,000 hours of watch time, so I'll start getting paid from these as soon as I get another 1,000 hours in, which should take me a week, which is actually crazy. I looked it up, and it normally takes like someone like 6 to 12 months to get monetized, and I mean, we'll be there within the first month, which is absolutely crazy. So most of my comments are just super supportive, like total outflow of support, so I'm super grateful for that. I've literally said it in every video, but it just keeps coming. We're at the storage unit now, so we're going to pull some orders and talk about what's sold. While I was out of town, my mom did knock out some of the consolidating, so we're currently in this back corner. We have these racks behind me to get through still, but that's super helpful. The less time I can spend doing that, the better, because that's, as I said before, the most tedious process. And here's that Dodge hoodie. Really cool, and I like this a lot. Here's the labels and a full bag of stuff that sold from the house. We're at the storage unit now to pull the rest. I was out of town from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and my mom handled shipping on Friday, which was the first time she ran that solo, crushed it. That's super helpful, super awesome. Here's the sales for the weekend. We crossed $1,000, which is also like great. Being on vacation and making money like that, incredible. Wouldn't have it any other way. We have to pull those and get those out, but that's the Saturday and Sunday sales. So still $500 a day out of town on vacation. And I only posted listings one of those days. I ran out of stuff to post. I did drop it down to 20 a day for at least this first week, and then I'll probably pick that up when I get back from Miami. But I'm going to try to pull around 240 pieces this week. I have those Levi's in, like I mentioned. I have a few other things on the way. So definitely going to put some time in at the bins, but I want to be able to get 20 listings up each day this week, and then another 20 for drafted and ready to go for the time I spend out of state. And I will be on vacation mode for that, probably. We'll see how that goes. Going to flip through some of these sales just as we pull them. We got a nice Broncos hoodie, Maine sweatshirt, Harley Davidson, Packers hoodie, go Pack, that's my team. Even though we lost to the Panthers this weekend, which was ridiculous. This is a nice Christian Dior sweater. That was definitely a good one. This is an 80s West Virginia Almost Heaven tee. This was actually going to be a personal, but it didn't fit me quite how I liked. But it is from 1981. No tag on it, but it has a nice fade and everything. Got like 35 for this, which is cool. More than I paid for it. The rest of the stuff from this house, this U.S. Marine shirt is actually going overseas to China, which is kind of funny. This Super Bowl jersey sold for $100. That is a Heath Miller. These are some new with tags, vintage Echo Unlimited jeans, bigger size, but they still sold well. We got some polo. This is more polo. A pair of Levi's up here, and we got a couple jackets. I don't remember exactly which is which. Good weekend for the NFL stuff. We got the Panthers, which is blasphemous, the Rams jersey, and the new with tags Nike sweatshirt. Vintage Bugle Boys sweatshirt and a New England Patriots pullover. Here is the mound of orders going out today, so we got to get them in these bags and take them to the post office. We got 3 bags full and a bunch of empty boxes behind me from consolidating. And as far as the what I wear question goes, I also wear a size 15 shoe, so I can never find anything in my size without like a $300 markup. But I go pretty comfy on those too. I got a nice pair of boots, but normally I'm just rocking the everyday New Balances and keeping it pretty simple. Dad shoes. That's what it is. I also get a lot of questions asking what I use to monitor my expenses and track everything for tax time. I use a software called Simple Seller. You link your Google Chrome to your eBay and it automatically fills in all your information on a spreadsheet, and it can pull your inventory history from the last 2 years, so at least the year you need for your taxes. I do have a referral code and a link if you want to sign up. You get a free trial, but if you use my code, you'll save 20%. The whole thing is a business expense, so it is all a write-off, just paying for the program, the monthly subscription, if you decide you like it after the free trial. I use it, and I really like it. It has a spreadsheet that takes all your eBay inventory. It calculates all your net profit after the eBay fees are included in it based on the category of your item that they pull from the listing. There's a spot for your cost. There's a spot for your cost of goods. So as soon as you upload stuff, your spreadsheet will update, or you can just pull the last couple days to refresh it. Are you watching one of my videos? And there's also a separate sheet attached to it that you can put in any of your other business write-offs. Like there's a field for mileage. There's also any of the boxes, racks I buy. Obviously you can write off the cost of goods for sold inventory, so that's all tracked. But it's not that expensive, and it is all a tax write-off. It's another business expense, so when you go in there to put your expenses, that should be the first one you write down. And you know, any other overhead like storage or anything, you should be adding that in there. It's really simple, puts it all in one place. Got those all dropped off, and I also had a few questions about what my first few months were like on eBay. So I actually started reselling with flipping storage units. Right out of high school, the first one I ever bought was a storage unit full of old tires for $10, and I would never do that again. Incredibly heavy. There's not really a market for them. I brought a few sets home that matched and ended up selling those for around $400, and then I threw it up on Marketplace and got extremely lucky. Someone offered me $1 a piece, which turned that $10 investment into $1,000, and then I kind of just went from there. With the storage units, there's just kind of a lack of like scale. It's sometimes you have really bad buys, sometimes you strike gold and have a great unit. And it's just like the consistency isn't really there. You want to be able to, it's a pretty cheap buy-in, and you're getting a ton of stuff, but there's also so much junk and weeding through everything. So I did a big liquidation eventually, and ended up auctioning off a ton of stuff on my old eBay account. I had a few things that were damaged, broken. I just straight up lost them at some point because I didn't really have any inventory either. I was working out of 4 storage units that cost me about like $1,000 a month, and just had like well over 1,200 square feet of inventory that was just completely unsorted. So it was sell something, go find it, and hope for the best. But once I switched to clothes back in December, I was already watching like Tekken Sports, David Palaio, some of the big guys, and you know, they kind of preach that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So my first month I listed 10 things a day and had 300 active listings by the end of the month, just because I knew like just pick that baseline, stick to it. And from there I only really saw probably 25-30 sales, which is I mean, even less than that, because it wasn't even one a day at that point. But eventually I did get up to, I still remember like 7 months ago or whatever, hitting my 90 sales on the 90-day total to finally break out for 1 sale a day when I had already been in it for a couple months. So it definitely takes some time, but my first month wasn't great. I didn't start off with a huge launch or anything. You just start small and build your way up. Home now, we actually got another package in, but like I was saying before, yeah, just start small and build your way up. It's all about consistency, and like, I actually enjoy what I'm doing. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't work so hard on it, and I'd switch to something else that I do enjoy. So that's definitely a big factor. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's a hobby just as much as it is a business. So seeing it grow and actually putting in as much time as I am and seeing the returns from that is like super great. That's definitely the biggest motivation to keep going. But we're going to open up this package because I want to see what else came in. I forgot. It's probably been a little bit since I ordered it. This is the box I mentioned earlier of just all the Levi 5 series. He threw in some Carhartt fire resistant ones, which is nice because I didn't even expect them in there. But yeah, all types of cuts, sizes, mostly smaller sizes. So this will be easy money for sure. The 550s, 505, 517s, you get the idea. About 30 pairs in there, so that shouldn't be bad at all. We got this package, and I looked at his sent it, so I do know what it is. It is the Lululemon bundle I ordered. So everything in here came out to 8 a piece. I think there's about 50 pieces, so we're gonna see what all is in here. This is a great brand, super good sell-through rate, easy margin. This is a 2X. I got the full bag here. I don't know if I'm gonna show every single piece, but I mean, we got a decent little stack of the sports bras in here, a couple tank tops too, all types of sizes and colors. The pieces don't matter a whole lot. Obviously certain ones fetch better money. Like I have the best luck with these zip ups, kind of similar to the color I have on, but has the logo on the hood. A couple more lightweight jackets in there as well. A bunch of the leggings in here. This isn't all women's bundle. I typically don't do women's clothing, but with a margin like this on this brand, I'm quick to pick it up. A couple pairs of shorts in there. Can't go wrong with those either. Another stack of leggings. A few more pairs of shorts. The one with the more out there patterns do pretty good as well. A few more dollars per piece on those. And a couple more pairs of sweatpants. You don't have to try anything too crazy to sell them. The brand sells itself. So really chill day, super happy with the one stack I got in. I have a bunch of Levi's, the Carhartt pants, all the Lululemon, and of course all these shirts I showed you to list. Really chill first day back from vacation, but you know, just easing into it. Going to get my 20 pictures done. That'll take me about an hour, and then we'll see what the rest of the week has in store. Miami next week, so it's gonna be a pretty chill week. Only listing 20 a day. I can do that easy. I won't be working a ton, but kind of just hanging out, and then the rest of the month is going to be super busy after the Miami trip, so I'm excited to see what we pull there. I have my Instagram, the Discord group, everything linked in the bio, as well as the Simple Seller, the spreadsheet. Use my code to save 20% on that, Closet by Clark. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.